Horizon Worlds. Welcome again to another segment of Blanco's Business Buzz. This is Horizon Worlds premier news source, which is Meta News. And tonight, going to touch on a topic, still business related, but more personal in terms of what I've been experiencing once again in Horizon Worlds. So at least we're getting, a firsthand experiences that we can address and talk about, and so that when other members see it and create, speak this back up, maybe more people will take note of it and maybe it'll pick up some steam. So tonight, as you know, I've been here for about a year now. And since I've been here, I've been talking business, and I've been talking business uh, in a more direct format, using business terms, the business language, because I tend to avoid what most people say, dumb down what you're saying. Um, and I'd be willing to spend more time, breaking it down and giving examples if I need to, and associate different things or different terms with different things that people may be relating to. Um, but what I found is this: I'm finding that the people who say they want to do things, they have to be willing to take the first step and into the direction of those things they want to do. So it's a general knowledge now that if you want to start a business, yeah, you go file a form, you go file a form for whatever business you want to start. You get your EIN number sent to you, you file it with the state and so forth. But those are just basically filing a business. That's putting the business on record with the IRS, with the federal government, with the state, and whatever other um formalities that you may take. And typically, a lot of people save time by letting an attorney set it up for them, or some people just go to the service providers like Zoom, um, um, it's like Legal Zoom and iBiz, and quite a few others that does that over the years. So it's not a problem to get a business actually filed and even have a company that sets it up to be a registered agent for it. And that's another term people are not familiar with, a registered agent. But I'm not going to get too technical tonight. But when I'm telling people about different things that I'm hearing them talk about, that they could use some information on the spot that could help them in their situation, I keep finding that when I talk to people, they don't even have foundational knowledge, or they don't have any associative knowledge where they can associate what I'm saying with their problem. And then when I try to connect it in some form of fashion, you can really tell how people either get quiet, or some change the subject right then on the spot, as if they wasn't talking about an issue, as if they weren't talking about something they're pursuing. So, in a nutshell, people won't be able to help or be able to help you if you don't have the minimum knowledge to be in that conversation within that topic, within the scope of that topic. So if I'm talking about how to um, change a tire on a car, and the equipment is a tire iron and a car jack, then basically you won't be able to help you or tell you how to change it. So we have to, as individuals, right? If we're saying we want to start a business, if we're saying we want to get into crypto, if we're saying any of these things that you don't have the firsthand knowledge, it's easy to say they said, or someone told me all you got to do is, and then run with that. No, only certain people do that and continue to do that. And those people are the people who are always wondering how they're going to actually get from point A to point B, waiting on someone else to tell them another step because they have not looked into it and got the firsthand knowledge. So, in terms of business and in terms of anything for that matter, really, if you're trying to pursue something, you need to go ahead and get started on getting foundational knowledge. Because I tell my clients all the time, If I'm going to help you set up a business plan, be ready to be working on that plan for about a year or less, but expect a year or less because it should take a year for you to get complete understanding of your business that you plan on doing. It will give you understanding of the market because it's no reason whatsoever to start a business or try to do a business if you don't even know who your market is, your competitive markets are, how much is in that market, how much is accessible to you, how much money is going in and out of that market, and what is the legal environment around that market. What is it like right now? And those things are all things that will help you have a business that either is successful or you can get that business to be so perform so well that you can probably sell that business in the future because people buy businesses all the time. People tend to like when someone start a business and that business is a good idea because there's a lot of people with money. They don't live the lifestyle that we live. They are investors. They were born with money and all they know is how to have their money make them money just by placing their money in good investments or putting it behind different projects or different things that will increase their money. So I want Horizon World members, the ones who are definitely seeking to build, create assets, who look forward to the future. The future is near. The future isn't far out. Even if we waited another 10 years, it's so crazy how fast time goes, especially when you're enjoying yourself doing what you like to do. So in here, people like building. It is very peaceful. It's a good thing. It's another way to create something, look back at it and say, I did that, and then get better and better at it. But the thing about it is, um, because of where we at in the future, or in the present. We're in the present now. We're in a digital divide right now. So all these things can be even though it's digital, it can be permanent because you when you turn it into some type of a cryptology, when you put when you mint it, it becomes a permanent asset. So so um think about whatever it is that you're trying to do. Start learning everything about what it is you're trying to do. So if you want to start a business, and let's throw one out there. Let's say you want to start a business um making making shirts. Let's say you want to do a business making shirts. So well, let me make it a little bit more easier. Instead of manufacturing or making shirts, you have a business where you want to do designs that goes on shirts, right? So if you're trying to do that and you don't have any idea that the cost of, let's say, you plan on using cotton shirts, the cost of cotton is going up for some other reason because some industries that normally puts cotton out at such a high rate is no longer doing it. So that means the other people that picks up on the industry or whatever steps in, they may be charging twice as much. So if you don't know that, right, you may decide not to go with cotton. But if you didn't know that, because you're assuming that cotton has always been affordable material to use to make shirts, then you wouldn't know that, and your profit margin wouldn't be what you say it would be, and you probably wouldn't be able to get the financing because by the time they look at your financial plan, they saw that you overlooked something that major. And I say it's major because anytime you have an idea to produce a business, you must not only think about what it is that you're planning on doing and producing, you have to look at everything that you would need, like raw materials. Who's your supply chain? If you're making clothing, who's gonna provide you your buttons at what rate? Are you gonna get it from this country, which may have that same button for 10 cents, or would you rather get it from a country that has it for 1 cent per button? Um, then you have to consider things like zippers, because zippers are, they made out of metal, but of course they got plastic ones now and all of that. But you may want durable zippers. You may not want something that could possibly come from a factory out of China that is known to use composite materials because that is why they can give you such a low rate because they're using certain materials. You may want a factory here in the United States that's gonna guarantee all the materials are like solid stone or real stone, or they verified or validated. And yeah, it may make your price higher, to get it done with a company that can actually certify it, but that also raises the price up in your materials because you have a higher quality product. So today it's just me wanting to make sure that, if you're talking to me in Horizon Worlds and we start talking business, and if you hear something you don't understand, don't just nod your head. Don't just sit there quietly blinking your eyes, and then don't walk away as if you understood anything, because that means you didn't take something with you that you could use later on. And if you did that, you really wasted my time too, because I'm taking the time to tell you. But in the future, I'll be making announcements on other things I'll be doing in Horizon Worlds to for the business purposes, that I will have other worlds that I'll be bringing forward pretty soon, and to get everybody ready as we continue to build and prepare ourselves to do business. Okay, well, it's been another good night on Horizon Worlds Meta News. This is the Meta News business segment. I am El Blanco, and you can watch all of our segments if you go to our YouTube channel at Meta News for Horizon Worlds VR, and that's Horizon Worlds with an S. And you can watch all our segments, and we have quite a few segments and good content for Horizon Worlds. Thank you for tuning in again. Good night.